Good evening and welcome to the high-speed racing competition of this F1 series. Tom Cairns, your host, or Tom Cairns, the commentator for this one. And we are about to begin round 3 of this championship of 8. And if you are new to this particular league, brace yourselves for a very, very competitive one. It's one of the most competitive leagues that you'll come across if you haven't seen this series before. So qualifying 18 minutes, and then it'll be a 50% race distance race at Silverstone. 26 laps it'll be. So whilst we're waiting for the drivers to make their way out onto the racetrack, I'm going to maybe run down on the drivers' standings. Now, Tom Boydo, who is not competing this weekend, or I say this weekend, it won't be competing this week. He's the championship leader on 40 points, and it's Marinus Mann who in the Alfa Romeo in second on 33. Then it's Jordi B in third on 28. Walks Rage in the McLaren on 25. Now Walks Rage, just trying to see if he's in this one, and it doesn't look as though he is, because TRT Matty is in that particular race seat for this round. So Cayenne looking to make his way round. Can he put in a stellar performance? Now, last time out, Cayenne, just looking to see where he is on the driver's standings. I don't think he was in last time out in Austria. So he's got a chance to make up for lost time and put in a real good performance here. Very competitive driver is this one. So Kine will be the first driver to cross over the line to begin a flying lap. He comes into turn 1, which is Abbey, and then through what's known as Farm. The Ferrari just about getting out of the way. They could have held Cayenne up there. So all 17 drivers are out on the racetrack. Cayenne uses his DRS. He's coming up to a McLaren very shortly, which I think it's Matty who's coming up to. Find out soon enough. Should move out the way fairly shortly. Yeah, he's moving out of the way on the old pit straight. And VAR Jules has joined. Not sure he'll be able to take a grid spot in this, but he can at least give qualifying a go nevertheless. So here's Cayenne on his soft compound, on the hanger straight, making his way past Stowe Corner, through Vale, and he's going in the pits because he knows his lap time's been invalidated. Here's Dust Vessel. I just want to see if there's another driver who's just about to complete their flying lap. Elshite 004 goes over the line. He posts the first time. It's a 1:24.7. Now, what has Dust Vessel come up with? 24.8. So, 10th and a half slower than his teammates. Lassie Boy next to cross over the line. And it's a 26 flat. Not a very good lap from him there. Definitely needs to improve. Certainly more time to fight. And Jordi B's gone fastest on a 24.1 in the Mercedes. So Jordi B, who's seemingly one of the championship contenders for this series, is on to provisional pole. Ramnitic up to 5th in the Haas. Pricky going third fastest on a 24.3, and Jesper Pukki up to second on a 24. So Pricky's on a 24.5, Jesper Pukki on a 24.3 in the Ferrari. Shane in the McLaren, who's just posted his first lap time of 24.6 on the medium compound. Now I wonder if he may choose to start the race on that tyre. We'll wait and see soon enough. M Cloud's also on the medium compound. Lucas is about to complete, well, I say he's about to complete, he's just come back into the pits. Wartsepix has had his time invalidated. Here's TRT Matty in the McLaren. What's his first lap time going to be here? It's going to be in the 24s. It's a 24.7 that puts him 7th, just shy of his teammate Shane. M Cloud also about to complete his flying lap on the medium compound, and it's a 24.6, and he goes ahead of Shane by 0.04 of a second. So it's advantage Jordi B with Martin up to second position in the Mercedes in place of Boyd Voss. Jesper Pukki in third place for Ferrari. Then it's Marinus Mann, Pricky and M Cloud 5th and 6th. Shane in 7th, Matty 8th. Then it's the Renaults of Illustrate 004 and Dust Vessel in 9th and 10th. Ramnatic is 11th, and lastly by the last of the drivers who have completed a flying lap so far in 12th. Cayenne's yet to set a fast lap. He's out on the circuit now. Stein likewise. Vesterhuis in the Williams. Lucas in the Racing Point. Wartsepix in the Racing Point. He's just about to complete, well I say he's about to complete, he's had his lap time invalidated actually, so there's not going to be a time for him on this occasion, so he'll have to either go round again, I'll come back into the pits, get some fuel in, and go out on another set of tyres. Cayenne MS is about to begin his next flying lap. Hopefully we'll keep it to the confinements of the racetrack this time. Starting it now is a weird entry into the Hamilton straight there. Not sure why he needed to do that. But he's coming up to, it's just gone past the Renault actually. He's going to be coming up to the Williams of Larcy Boy, who should move out of the way. Goes off onto the runoff area, so that's a wise move there from the Williams driver. Cayenne MS. He's got no other drivers ahead of him on the road to worry about, so it's just very much down to raw speed. So Cayenne looking to go really quick through this fast section of cops, flat out in 8th gear. Took a wide line on the curve, which is what you should do through there from experience. And Cayenne has overstepped the mark. He's exceeded track limits. Stein, he did go wide, but he didn't gain time by going off the racetrack, hence why his lap's not been invalidated. He'll carry on nevertheless. He may as well, because he hasn't set a time on the board yet. And Stein 44 in the AlphaTauri. What can he come up with here? It's not going to be the fastest time of the session so far, but at least he can be putting a time on the board. It's a 25.4 that puts him 11th. Vesterhuis is next up in the Williams. Over those curves, and then more over the line now. And it's a 24.4 that puts him 4th fastest. That's a great lap there from the Williams driver. Who else is on a flying lap? There's a few drivers that started theirs. El-Shape Double Floor is one of them. Dust Vessel is another. We'll stay with El-Shape Double Floor because he's on a better lap than he was previously through Sector 1. He's got a Haas ahead of him who should stay out of his way. He may go on to the runoff areas of Maggots and Beckett. He doesn't that time. He gets on with it, to be honest. Here's Ilshot 004, DRS open on the hanger straight. And he's over 3/10 up in sector 2, so he's on a much better lap than before. Coming through Stowe corner. Over the curbs. Through Vale, takes a wide line as he enters through Club. Round Club and onto the Hamilton straight. And it's second fastest. He found half a second on that lap there as Ilshot, so that's a great time for him. Lasted by goes up to 12. Dust Vessel is the next driver to cross over the line. He's improved so far through sector 2 by 3/10, and he goes up to 8th only on a 24.5. So he's got time still to find as Dust Vessel. Shane is further around the circuit to complete a faster time than before. Jesper Pukki also on a fast lap. Martijn, I believe, has just started his latest flying lap. Shane 4/10 up in sector 2 from his previous best. He was one of those most definitely in the running for the race victory before he had that spin on the last stint that cost him time and places, but he's looking for redemption this weekend. And he goes to provisional pole position, 1 minute 24 dead. Phenomenal lap there by Shane. Brilliant lap. Jesper Pukki, a 10th up, over a 10th up from his previous best in sector 2. Goes past the Alfa Romeo, who stays out of his way. He's coming through Club now. What time will it be here for Jesper Pukki? It's a better time, goes up to 4th. Martijn, who's 7,000th of a second down through sector 1. What was he like through sector 2? 600ths up. So he's definitely on a better lap than before. Coming over the line now. Well, so he's coming over the line, he's coming through Vale. Rides the curve. McLeod goes to provisional pole now, a 23.9 on the soft compound. Brilliant lap there for McLeod to take provisional pole. 24.1 for Martijn to go third fastest ahead of his teammate. Now what about Cayenne and Warts Epics? They've just started flying laps, I believe. Just looking to see if there's any other drivers out on the circuit who's currently on a fast lap. Marinusman is one of them. Can he deprive McLeod of pole position on this lap here? Coming through Vale. Rides the curves through Club. Gets the power down, onto the Hamilton straight he goes. He improves to 7th, only by 2/10 on that lap. And Cayenne MS crossing over the line to only go 13th fastest on the medium compound. Or is he just starting his flying lap? He may have just... No, I think he has finished his flying lap. So Cayenne only 13th fastest at the moment. Warts Epics in the racing point. The only driver yet to set a time in this session. Comes over the line now to go up to 9th. Not a bad lap there from him. So who's set what on what compound? Well, the only driver to have set his best time on the medium compound so far is Cayenne MS, and he's 14th fastest. So the top 10 would start on the soft compound for the first stint. So it's advantage McLeod 007 in the Ferrari. Now is that Jordi B, who's just gone through sector 1 fastest there. He's going out early to complete his last time lap, and I think Stein's had his time invalidated as well. So Jordi B should go quicker than before here. Goes to the inside, prepares for the slalom of Maggots and Beckett's. Gets the car slowed down to 5th gear, rides the grass, and he's had his time invalidated. He'll have to go again or come back into the pits and get another set of tyres on. Jordi B, that's a shame, because he was on course for a better lap. He needed a better lap than before to close in on the likes of McLeod and Shane ahead of him on the grid. So only one driver out on circuit now, and that's Shane, who's just on his out lap. He's out on his fresh set of softs. A 24 dead for Shane on his best time lap, 21 thousandths of a second away from M Cloud's pole position time. Now the drivers, I would say, need to be out on the circuit or leaving the pits with 2 minutes remaining. You can see there's more and more drivers exiting the pits now. Shane will be hoping there's not too much traffic. He may want to back off here because he's got enough ground on the nearest driver behind, which is the Williams of Larcy Boy. It's Larcy Boy who's the next car behind him on the road. So he may as well just slow down a little bit and just wait for cars to make their way out onto the racetrack so it doesn't get impeded potentially. There's still quite a number of drivers still in the pits. So Shane backs off. He is aware of the situation clearly. I think the only one who's not going out is the Ferrari of Jasper Pukki. I think the reason that will be is because... Oh no, he is coming out. So Jasper Pukki is going to make his way out onto the circuit, although too late, I believe, with the amount of time remaining. Yeah, he's left it too late. Although if he does start outside the top 10, he'll have a free choice of what compound he can start on. But Shane has started his final flying lap. DRS wide open. And he's 200ths up through sector 1. So far, so good. Can he keep it up through the second sector? He's got a racing point in front of him. He should move out of the way. Which he does. Shane coming through Beckett's and then Chapel. DRS wide open. And he's 500ths down from his previous best in sector 2. So he's got time to find in the final sector, and he's got a heap of traffic ahead of him. That's going to hinder him massively here. Not sure how he's going to... Oh my goodness me, he's just crossed into the Renault who didn't see him in time. Oh, that's unfortunate for Shane, who gets... Well, it's not him that gets a grid penalty, it's the Renault of Ilshai 004 who gets the grid penalty. What a shame. Now, Larcy Boy backs off from his lap, and I wonder what the stewards will make of that, because that was a really dangerous accident. And one that could have affected other drivers as well. Here's M Cloud, who's on a better lap from before. Coming through club now. Matty goes up to 8th with his lap. Great, better time from before. M Cloud goes better than before on a 23.938, and it's pole position for him. Although we will wait for Martin, who's on a much better lap from before, over a 10th up in sector 2. Can he take pole position away from M Cloud? Through Vale, not taking too much curb through club, gets the power down onto the start finish straight, and he goes to pole position by 200ths of a second. That's pole position surely for Martin, unless Jordi B's got something in his back pocket. He's 2/10 up through sector 2. Can he be the latest to deprive another driver of pole position here? Jordi B in the Mercedes, riding the curves through club onto the start finish straight now, the Hamilton straight, and he goes to pole position on a 23.7. Elshot Dolifar goes up to second now in the Renault. That's a much better time from him, although he has that grid penalty coming his way. Jasper Pukki on a better lap from before as well in the Ferrari. What can he come up with? goes up to 5th. And all the drivers have completed their latest laps. So Jordy B on pole position for the British Grand Prix, less than a 10th clear from Ilshite 004. It's Martin who will be happy with 3rd fastest, although pole position was very nearly his. M Cloud will start 4th, ahead of Jasper Pukki. Next Marinus Mann, Shane, Warts Epics, Festafuis, TRT Matty in the McLaren, Pricky 0707 in the Red Bull. He'll be disappointed with that, to be honest with you, as will Das Vessel. Lucas will be 13th for Racing Point. That's Kai MMS, who's set his best time of the session in 14th place. And I wonder he will choose to start on the medium compound for the British Grand Prix. There's a good chance he'll be able to do so. So, a rundown on the grid. Jordy B on pole, Ilshite 004 with a 5-place grid penalty as well. So that promotes Martin up to 2nd, M Cloud to 3rd, Jesper Pukki to 4th, Marinus Mann in 5th. Shane, who would start 6th, he's got a grid penalty as well for the collision with Ilshite 004. So Ilshite 004 will be 6th on the grid, ahead of Waltz Epics. Festafuis will be in 8th, he'll be 8th on the grid. Matty will be 9th, Pricky 10th, Dust Vessel 11th, and Shane will be 12th. Lucas will be 13th on the grid, Kyan 14th, Larsie Boy 15th, Ramnatic 16th, and 17th on the grid will be, I think it's Larsie Boy. It may have been someone else. Stein 44 is the one I was after. I think there was another driver that joined the session as well. It's Jules, I think it is. He'll start at the back of the grid. So waiting for the drivers to complete their race and fuel strategies before this 26th lap British Grand Prix gets underway. Round 3 of the high-speed racing competition. In regards to positions in the Drivers' Championship, Tom Boydo is the championship leader who's not competing in this one, unless he's changed his PlayStation name or something. Marinus Mann, who is the driver who's currently competing at the moment, he's 7 points behind him, so he could leave Silverstone as the championship leader, as could Jordy B, actually. Warts Rage, not racing in this one, is in 4th, M Cloud in 5th for Ferrari on 24 points. You could say those top 5, although 3 of them are competing in this one, are in the running for the title. So just a rundown on who it will be starting on what. Now the top 10, or the drivers who qualified in the top 10, have to start on the soft compound tyres. Kyan, Ramatic and Stein are all starting on the mediums. So if you have just joined us, welcome. The times are very, very close in the 18-minute session, and if that's anything to go by, we could be in for a real cracker here at Silverstone, as we did so in Austria last week. Warts Rage was the winner last time out. Can he... Well, he's not racing in this one. Could we get another new winner? Tom Boydo was the race winner from race 1 in Bahrain. Warts Rage, who's not competing in this either, actually. So both race winners of this championship so far are not competing in this race here at Silverstone. So we will get a new race winner, regardless of what happens. There are drivers in this who have yet to score a point so far. Lucas is one of them. Ramatic is another. And there's a few others in there, like Larsie Boy, Stein, who's yet to get off the mark. And of course, TRT Matty, who's yet to start a race in this one, until he will do so in a few moments' time. Jordy B will take his place on the grid on pole position. Can he get off the line well ahead of the 2 Ferraris? But Martin's just been overtaken by Ferrari, although he will get back into 2nd position on the grid regardless of it. It's just one of those algorithms within the game where, as they come towards the end of the formation lap, the game controls the speed of the cars to make sure they are on the grid spot correctly. So Jordy B on pole. Can he lead into turn 1, into Abbey? The 5 lights are on. Lights out, and away we go. Jordy B, we're just waiting to see if he got off the line well, actually. I'm not sure if the race has actually started. It may just be a glitch or a connection issue. Lights out, and away we go. Jordy B gets off the line cleanly as well. Martin in second place, but he's got the Ferrari of Emco, goes round the outside of him into Abbey, side by side through Farm, and Martin keeps hold of second place. We've got the Alfa Romeo of Marinusman, who's got a great start from 5th on the grid, and he's already alongside the second of the 2 Ferraris of Emco to go up into 3rd place, but Emco's got the inside line coming through Aintree and keeps hold of 3rd place. Marinusman is in 4th, ahead of Jasper Puki, Festerhuis, Ilscheid, Walks Epics, Matty and Shane. So Jordy B continuing to lead the way. Martin close behind. We expect to see overtakes left, right and centre in this one. We had a very close battle between the Mercedes drivers and the McLaren drivers in Austria last time out. Could we get a repeat of a similar feat here with 2 Mercedes leading, as well as the 2 Ferraris and Marinusman getting stuck in? We'll find out very, very soon. There's no DRS for the first 2 laps. So Jordy B will have an opportunity to pull out of DRS range from Martin, who is at the moment 7/10 adrift of his teammate. You can see as a move there in the background as the runner of Ulstrike 004 looking to make up ground after his grid penalty to go alongside the Williams of Festerhuis for 6th position. But he's got a racing point of Warps Epics alongside him through Club, rides over the curbs and has to concede the position there, Warps Epics, and he remains in 8th position. Matty in 9th. Jordy B still leading. And Martin in 2nd place, M-Cloud in 3rd. You can see a change of position there, Warps Epics fending off Matty behind him. There's Shane, who will be side by side with his teammate as they come through Aintree. DRS being used by the second of the 2 McLarens. He'll be looking to make a move, and there's a spinner at sector 1. It's Pricky, who's had a spin in the Red Bull. Poor start for him in this. So he's got a lot of ground to make up now. Jordy B continuing to lead. The top 4 still the same as it was at the end of lap 1. And someone else has gone for a spin in sector 2. It's Kyan MS in the Alfa Romeo. Damage to his front wing, and he falls behind Pricky. Drivers coming through the fast sections of Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. Very historical part of the racetrack here at Silverstone. Home of the British Grand Prix since 1987. And Arthur used to alternate with Bruntach. Warps Epics getting by Ilshay 004 before Stowe. Can Matty follow suit and take 8th place from the Renault? The answer is no. And someone else has spun. It's the other racing point of Lucas, who's gone for a spin. Gets going again though. Dust Vessel is in the pits, probably with damage to his front wing. He may have had a coming together with someone. Lucas is going to be coming in, as will Kayam MS, to get their front wings changed. Those guys will be hoping for a safety car in the hope of salvaging any points from this race. Jordy B continues to lead, but he's not out of DRS range, and Lucas has retired in the pits. So he's the first one out. Martin looking to make amends on his teammate, who's leading. Looking to make up ground. Can he start off his campaign in the best way possible? It's an 8-race championship is this, and they've done 2 already in Bahrain and Austria. So Martin hasn't got too much time to make up for lost time, missing the opening couple of races of the championship. Let's see what's going on further behind. We've got a McLaren overtaking the Renault. That's Matty alongside Shite 004 into Stowe. 8th place goes to the McLaren. Can Shane get past Shite 004? I think he made a mistake coming out of Stowe corner. So he's lost 2 positions in one go there. M. Cloud with the fastest up of the race so far in the Ferrari. What's Epic's taking that fastest lap point away? And a lock up there from Martin as they come into Village. Round the loop. Through Aintree. He'll be too far back to have a go on his teammate. Jasper Pookie in 5th behind Marinus Mann's Alfa Romeo. And someone's gone for a spin in sector 1. I think that's Lassie Boy in the Williams, who's had a moment. He's got going again though. Look at this queue of cars we've got here now. I know we're only on lap 4 of the race, but it's brilliant to see these drivers so close to one another. Not just over the course of a single lap in qualifying, but also in the race, as Warset picks as the first driver to get a time penalty in this race. Hopefully won't get too many more of those throughout the 26 laps. We've got the McLaren of Matty pulling alongside Walks Epics down the inside into Stowe, and that's 7th place for the McLaren. He's making his way through the field nicely, is Matty, in his first appearance this season. A lock up there in front of him from Frestefuis. Shorty B with the fastest lap now. Beginning to pull away from Martin again, but he's not out of DRS range still. And a mistake there from Shane in the McLaren onto the grass. Must have lost it coming out of farm, and that's going to allow Straight 004 to pull alongside. Just keeps hold of 9th place though, but he's going to be under threat with DRS. Lasted Boy gets a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Straight 004 looking to get back the position, but no change there. Shane was very lucky to keep the car on the racetrack. So Mercedes still 1 and 2. Got Stein, who's in a battle with Shite 004 for the final points paying position. Back at the front, Martin trying to make up ground on his teammate with DRS. It's just when you really are right on the gearbox of your teammate, that's when you can make up the most ground when you're in the slipstream. But when you're about 6 or 7 tenths away, it's more difficult, even though Jordi B doesn't have DRS, because he's got no one in front of him. Martin with the fastest lap though, 27.8 for him. That'll most definitely help him catch the car ahead of him. Cloud in 3rd place, ahead of Maris Mann and Jesper Pookie. Matty right behind Vesterfuis, who is out of DRS range, so Matty's got a good opportunity to close in on the Williams for an overtake, which will move him up to 6th position. Now if he does get past him, can he close in on those who are battling for the lead, the top 5? And Cayenne's on track on the mediums at the moment. Pricky and Dust Vessel are on hards. They'll most definitely go to the end of the race. Now they've got to be hoping for a safety car to have any chance of getting anything from this. And here's Matty, continuing to close in on the Williams of Vesterfuis. No change of position. And Encloud's out of DRS range at the moment from Martin's Mercedes. One of who's made a slight mistake somewhere in the last sector. It's a good opportunity for Marinus Mann to complete a move on him with DRS. Lap 7 hour 26. Martin looking to really put his teammate under pressure now. Marinus Mann likewise with M Cloud. Same with Matty on Festerfuis, and you can see Shane behind him, right behind the racing point of Wars Epics. Jordy B going wide onto the grass. Martin looking to close in all the time. Not quite doing so, or not very much anyway. You can see a battle for 7th place now as Walks Rage looks to try and complete a move on Matty, but can't quite do it into Stowe Corner. And Martin's in the pits for Mercedes, so he's the first of the leaders to make a scheduled tyre stop. Where will he be in terms of track position? So this is an attempt of the undercut for Martin. He's got to hope he's rejoining not into too much traffic. He'll rejoin ahead of Dust Vessel, but he'll be behind Larcy Boy. So he'll have some clear track ahead of him when he rejoins. Jordy B has got to get the hammer down now. It's quite early to be making a pit stop. Now, what tyres has he gone on, Martin? He's gone on the mediums. Marinus Man in 3rd. Behind M Cloud. When will these guys pit as well? Because they'll most definitely be in the fight for the race win. They're not that far behind your GBs. It just takes one mistake for the picture to change at least anyway. Shane's got past Walks Epics for 7th. Matty looking to complete a move on Festerfuis. Stays behind him for the time being. And got a couple of drivers in the pits. Marinus Man and Jesper Pukki pitting at the same time. Jordy B and M Cloud stay out. Martin sure he's done enough to get back ahead of the likes of Marinus Man and Jesper Pukki in the fight for the lead. Or the fight for 2nd place anyway. Coming around the last corner now. Martin. This is important that he gets back ahead of these guys. And he's back ahead of him. So Martin, free of those guys. And now he can go after his teammate and M Cloud, who are 1st and 2nd on the road now. Festerfuis continuing to defend brilliantly from the McLarens of Matty and Shane. Walks Epics joining in with these guys. Stein's doing a fine job in the AlphaTauri in his first start in the championship. Coming on to the hangar straight now. Festerfuis is going to need to go defensive here because Matty's all over the back of him now with DRS. Round the outside into Stowe. And that's 3rd place for the McLaren, although Festerfuis is going to be back for more. But Matty's got the job done. Marinus Man has got a time penalty to his name. That's bad news for him in his quest for the race win, or even for a podium. Shane's in the pits for McLaren, as is M Cloud. Now, M Cloud's got to hope that Ferrari do a really swift pit stop here. But he's had to wait. He's had to wait for the McLaren to go past. That's bad news for him. That's going to cost him a lot of time with in his battle with Marinus Man and Jesper Pukki. Martin will most definitely go past him, and I'm sure Marinus Man and Jesper Pukki will do the same. So M Cloud behind Marinus Man, but he's ahead of Jesper Pukki. Although a consolation for M Cloud is that Marinus Man has a time penalty, but M Cloud will want to get back ahead of him in his pursuit for the race lead with Jordy B and Martin. KMS continuing to get time penalties at the moment. He's got 8 seconds to his name now, and he's retired from the session. Kyan stopped in the pits, so he's the 2nd driver to retire. 4 drivers with time penalties now who are currently racing. Walks Epics, Ilshake 004, Marinus Man and Larcy Boy. Jordy B coming in at the end of lap 10. Now he stayed out 3 laps longer than his teammate. Will the fresher tyres pay off for him? Matty also pitting. So Mercedes need to make a really swift pit stop here if Jordy B is to get out in front of his teammate. Festivi's also pitting. Stein continues to stay out on his medium compound, so he'll have a stint at the front for the AlphaTauri driver. Jordy B has completed his stop. I don't think he lost too much time. But Martin is already coming onto the Hamilton straight now. He will take the lead here. Martin's just posted the new fastest lap. And I think he's got the lead here actually, has he? Yes, he has. He's taken the lead. So Martin has completed the undercut on his teammate to take what effectively is the race lead now. Although Jordy B is going to be on tyres that are 3 laps younger than his teammate, which could give an advantage come the end of the race. He's got DRS at the moment now, but Martin's got the job done on his teammate to be third on the road, which will be P1 once Stein and Ramnitic come in for their mandatory pit stops. Marinus Man continuing to close in. Jordy B will only just be getting up to speed, warming up his tyres as he's coming through corners like cops. And he's going to be all over the back of his teammate. In fact, if the Mercedes drivers fight with each other, that's going to allow the likes of Marinus Man, M-Cloud and Jasper Pukki to close in on them. DRS open on the second of the two Mercedes as they come down the hangar straight. I don't think Jordy B is going to be close enough, although further behind Marinus Man is about to lose what is effectively third position to M-Cloud. It goes past him around the outside of DRS, and that's third place for M-Cloud. Stein's got a time penalty for exceeding track limits too many times. That's bad news for him in his pursuit for a points finish here. You can tell he is pushing very hard. Martin looking to defend. Locks up into Village. So they make their way through the loop. He's very close to his teammate now. I wonder if Jordy B is going to be fighting it out very much on this occasion. He does somewhat. He wasn't as aggressive as I thought he would be. Maybe that's just to let his teammate go through for the next time they come onto the hangar straight. Martin's going to have DRS as they come round on it. Either way, Jordy B is back in the lead on that 12. Coming through Cop's corner. This is what it's all about. On track overtaking, especially at Silverstone. Legendary circuit here. The driver's favourite as well, and the fans' favourite. Martin not close enough to have a go. Verstappen under pressure from Matty, who's behind the Williams driver at the moment, so if he's going to be wanting to overtake him, he'll have to do it on track. Jordy B with a new fastest lap for Mercedes. Martin in 4th place. He's effectively second. Stein and Ramnitic have done well to take their mediums as far as they can. How long will it be before they decide to come in? They will be on fresher rubber when they come in, although they will need to make a lot of on-track overtakes if they want to salvage anything from this race, really. But it's possible, and in fact, if we get a safety car or even a virtual one, that's going to favour them a lot. So Martin and Verstappen is the latest to get a time penalty now, exceeding track limits. Verstappen's under pressure from the McLaren of Matty, who goes to the inside on the hangar straight through Stowe Corner. Nicely done there from Matty, who takes 9th position away from the Williams. Martin in 4th place. Still closing in all the time. I hope his teammate makes a mistake somewhere. Marinus Man looking to make up for the penalty he's got at the moment. You know, if we do get a safety car, that would be bad news for him, because that would potentially drop him a few positions, especially if we are close to the checkered flag. So he's going to be on the... Jordy B's got a time penalty now. Now that changes the whole picture, because 3 seconds means that Martin gets back the race lead. Now, will Martin go for the lead on the road? Probably best not to at this stage. And Ramatik's in the pits, and he's got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So that's not good news for him. Not sure if he will take it at his pit stop. Let's see if he does. No, he won't. He'll be taking that penalty at the end. But bad news for Jordy B. That'll cost him badly, really. It'll only cost him what is effectively the race lead to his teammate. Should keep hold of 2nd. And go back to the battle for what is effectively 3rd position. M Cloud ahead of Marinus Man. M Cloud defending all he can to keep his Ferrari there. So Stein leading by over 9 seconds. He's done well to manage his tyres. And we go to the battle between the Mercedes boys and Martin. Will he go for it on this occasion? He's not quite in the slipstream of his teammate. Go back to the battle for 3rd place, because Marinus Man has got ahead of M Cloud. So that's what is 4th place on the road, and effectively 3rd for Marinus Man. But he has got that time penalty, so he needs to make up 3 seconds on the Ferraris to finish on the podium. Stein's in the pits for his pit stop. He's taking those tyres as far as lap 15, so he'll go the last 11 laps on the soft compound. The McLarens of Shane and Matty will go past him. Festive Quiz will go past him. Walks Epics will go past him. And I think L-Shape 004 will go past the AlphaTauri. He does. So Stein rejoins in 11th position, just outside the points. We'll look at time penalties soon, but Martin is in the position he needs to win this race, even though he's behind his teammate on the road. If Martin was to get a time penalty himself, that would pretty much even up the order in terms of who's in the running for the race victory. Into the hangar straight. Martin too far back to do it. He waits. Stein on his fresh set of softs, attempting to close in. Matty's got a time penalty of 3 seconds. You've got to remember Stein's got a time penalty of his own, 3 seconds as well. So in fact the next 4 drivers ahead of him have got a time penalty of 3 seconds. So he's effectively, so as long as the others don't get penalties, he's still going to be very much in a battle with them on the road nevertheless. Don't think he's expected to finish higher than 7th anyway. He's got a good chance of getting by the Renault of Illustrate 004. This is a great battle to watch though. mCloud refusing to leave Marinus Man alone. Vespapuki managing his ERS very well in this race. Coming onto the home straight now is mCloud 007 within striking distance to make a lunge on the Alfa Romeo. Not on this occasion, his teammate closing in as well. McLaren's in 6th and 7th. Stein still behind the Renault of Illustrate 004 for the final point. Seen some brilliant battles out on track. We've still got 9 laps to go. Jordy B still leads on the road, but he's got a 3-second time penalty, which would drop him to 2nd. Marinus Man also has the same penalty, and mCloud is within striking distance to have a go with him on the Wellington Straight into Brooklands. Can't quite do it there, so he sits behind him once more. So they come through Loftfield. This is going to go right all the way to the checker flag. What can the Ferrari of mCloud do here? And Martin, I was going to say he's almost out of DRS range, but he's got DRS clearly on the back straight. Closes in on his teammate more, but he doesn't need to pass him. mCloud decides to go for it on Marinus Man on this occasion, and he's got through into 3rd position. Good move there. Now can Vespapuki get by the Alfa Romeo? The only problem he'll have is that the Alfa Romeo will have DRS the next time drivers will come onto the Wellington Straight. So if Vespapuki's got any hope of getting by the Alfa Romeo, may need to do it in one of the sections that does not require DRS or doesn't have DRS in. This is another battle as well. Stein and Ilshite 004 for 10th. We'll want to go back to the battle for what is currently 3rd position. Marinus Man trying to get back what he believes is his. It doesn't help the fact that he's got a time plunge to his name, which would drop him behind Vespapuki. And drop him 1 position. Although these 3 continue to fight, then that would bring Shane right in the frame for a podium potentially, and Stein's got by Shite 004, so that's 10th position for the AlphaTauri. Can he go after the likes of Walks Epics, Festifreeze, Matty and Shane? Walks Epics gets another time penalty. It takes his total to 6. You can see Vespapuki trying to get by the Alfa Romeo of Marinus Man, goes to the outside coming into Stowe. Has to back out of it on this occasion. Through Vale they go. Through Club. Marinus Man using all the curb he can to pull away from Vespapuki and close in on mCloud, who won't have DRS, which will give Marinus Man another opportunity to take back 3rd position. Straight 004 has got back ahead of Stein for 10th. They come through the Wellington Straight now. Marinus Man still sits behind, as does Vespapuki. And the closest battle we have out on track at the moment is between Larsy Boy and Pricky for 14th. But this is the battle we want to be watching at the moment. Although Martin is staying very much within a second of his teammate with the use of DRS. Here we go again, though, the battle for third position. Marinus Man going to the grass a little bit. On the gearbox of M Cloud, goes to the outside with DRS. In fact, he gets past him before the corner of Stowe, and Marinus Man gets back up into third position on the road. Jesper Pukki gets a time penalty now as well. That's bad news for him because Shane is on the cusp of passing him on the right. In fact, he's ahead of him if you include the time penalty. So Jesper Pukki would drop behind Shane into 6th position. M Cloud will know that the drivers around him have got time penalties, so he's got to be careful not to get a time penalty of his own. And Pricky did get by Larcy Boy up into 14th place. Six laps to go here at Silverstone, round 3 of the high-speed racing competition. This has been a brilliant battle to watch. It's a shame that we've got time penalties to take into account, but that won't stop these drivers from battling it out on circuit. This is the kind of theatre that we are after. Jesper Pukki is going to go alongside his teammate to the inside. Can't do it there, there's not enough room. And Jesper Pukki stays behind his teammate. Now, if these guys keep battling, that's going to bring the likes of Shane, Matty, Festerfleet and Walksepix to close in. So whilst these guys have been battling, Martin is half a second behind his teammate Geordie B. M Cloud in 4th place, which will be 3rd once the penalties have been applied. Too far back to have a go on Marinus Man. He doesn't need to pass him on the road, he just needs to sit behind him. Shane will be looking to continue his pursuit possibly of a podium here, because Marinus Man and Jesper Pukki's time penalties. Marinus Man would drop behind M Cloud. He would be ahead of Jesper Pukki. Shane would get ahead of Jesper Pukki. I think he might get ahead of Marinus Man as well. He just needs to close in on them, as he is doing. The Ferrari's going toe-to-toe here. Jesper Pukki alongside his teammate this time. Marinus Man's in the way though. The Ferrari goes side by side. Jesper Pukki's up into 4th place behind Marinus Man. Now, can he get by the Alfa Romeo driver and pull away? I think that's Ferrari's plan, because M Cloud knows that Jesper Pukki's got a time penalty to his name. He's the one who needs to get past Marinus Man. M Cloud doesn't need to do so. He just needs to keep the car pointing in the right direction and stay within 3 seconds of these guys. 4 laps to go now. Now, if Jesper Pukki can get by the Alfa Romeo, he'll give him a chance to pull away, although he won't have much time to do that. As they come through Brooklands, M Cloud almost trying to get back ahead of his teammate. Coming through Luffield onto Woodcote. Jesper Pukki looking to get by Marinus Man. And this could have bearings on the championship as well. Geordie B would drop to 2nd place in this race with the time penalty if it is added. But he would move in front, I believe, of Marinus Man. Jesper Pukki going to the inside. He thought about it. Tucks back in as they come through Stowe. Lock up again from Marinus Man. Now, if he stays ahead of Jesper Pukki, he would finish ahead of him, because they both have the same time penalty. Now, what's going to happen here? Here's something revving in the background. That could just be one of the Ferraris or something. And Cloud can't quite get a move done on this occasion. Shane in 6th, Matty in 7th, Festivus in 8th, and Walks Epics has dropped back from those group, or from that group of drivers, I should say. And Cloud in 5th place as it stands. He would move up to 3rd on the race result, which will help him in the championship as well. He'll most definitely move in front of Walks Rage. And most definitely Marinus Man as well. Although Marinus Man will have more second places. Shorty B would take the lead of the championship. On the penultimate lap of the race now. 2 to go. Jasper Pookie determined to get in front of Marinus Man. If he does so, that'll be 4th place for him in this race. Although actually, Shane is within 2 seconds of M-Cloud and within 3 seconds of Jasper Pookie and Marinus Man. So Shane's closing in on these guys and he's pushing ever so hard to close in. And so is Matty. So Jasper Pookie will be so desperate to get in front of Marinus Man in the final couple of laps here. Back to the battle for the lead. Martin determined. Well, I say he's determined. He doesn't need to get by his teammate. He just needs to keep the car on the road, stay within 3 seconds of his teammate, and race victory at Silverstone will be his. He used a bit of grass on the exit of Chapel. Coming onto the hanger straight for the penultimate time. Here he goes. Down the inside into Stowe corner. They go side by side again. He spins! Martin spins, keeps the car just about pointing in the right direction. Does he stay within 3 seconds of him? Want to go to the battle for 3rd place at the moment because Marinus Man does keep his nose in front of Jasper Pookie. But Martin was ever so lucky to keep the car pointing in the right direction. I think Jordy B has slowed down deliberately to allow his teammates to close back in. And in terms of etiquette, that I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do so, because that's going to allow Marinus Man and co to close in on them. Shane, 1.5 seconds behind M-Cloud, 2.5 behind Jasper Pookie, and 3 seconds behind Marinus Man. And it's going to come down, I think, probably to the last corner. Dust Vessel, the latest to get a time penalty now. There are only 3 drivers in this race who don't have time penalties. Martin's one of them. M-Cloud's the second, and Shane is the other. The final lap of this 26th lap British Grand Prix. Jordy B leading on the road. Martin in second, but with the time penalties added at the moment, Martin would take the victory. And Marinus Man's got another time penalty now. That's really bad news for him, because that's going to drop him well down the order. I'm going to go to the battle for the race lead here, because Martin should stay behind his teammate. We've got Jasper Pookie, who is going to go to the outside of Marinus Man coming into Stowe corner. The two go side by side. Jasper Pookie goes over the curb. Here's Johnny B, who's about to cross over the line though to take victory at Somerset there. That's going to go to Martin. So Martin takes the British Grand Prix victory. Jasper Pookie gets ahead of Marinus Man, but it's M-Cloud who will finish on the podium. Jasper Pookie will be 4th, Shane 5th, Matty 6th, Festivus 7th, Marinus Man down to 8th place. Elshite will be 9th with Walks Epics, his time penalty added. Stein crosses the line in 11th. Then it's Rumatic, Dust Vessel, Pricky, and lastly by rounding up the finishes. But Martin takes victory at Silverstone ahead of his teammate. Brilliant, brilliant drive from him to stay in touch with his teammate. And you have to say that was coming. Really excellent job. Really, really good job from him. It's a 1-2 for Mercedes as well. Just like it was in Bahrain. Except it's with Jordi B and Martin next to each other. So I want to have a look to see how all of this affects the championship standings. But we'll just have a look at the podium, because we're going to see some very happy drivers up there. Martin, most definitely the happiest of the two, or the happiest of the three. Here's your race victor, Martin, in his first start this season, is the race winner here at Silverstone today. Geordie's second place elevates him to the top of the drivers' standings. McLeod moving up as well, up into what is, I believe, third place in the standings. So here's the race result of the British Grand Prix. Martin wins, and it's Jordi B in second place with the time penalty added. McLeod is third, ahead of Jasper Pukki. Shane was fifth, ahead of Matty. Festifui seventh, ahead of Marinusman, Illustrate 004, and Waltz Epics, running out the top 10. The fastest at that point goes to Illustrate 004. Stein was 11th for AlphaTauri, followed by Ramner in 12th, Dust Vessel 13th, Pricky 14th, lastly by the last of the finishers in 15th. KMS and Lucas were the drivers who did not finish. So in regards to the championship, Jordi B takes the lead. He's now on 46 points. It's Tom Boydo in second on 40, McLeod in third on 39, and Marinusman with his poor result in fourth on 37. So the championship very much spiced up going into the next round of the championship, which will be in Budapest in Hungary on the 29th of April, 8 p.m. British Summer Time. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the high-speed racing competition returns.